Hey, you guys, it's Miss Alexander, and today is Module 6, Lesson 10 of Engage New York. Our objective today is to use area models and number line to compare decimal numbers and record comparisons using greater than, less than, and equal to. So we're reviewing our words, and they have not changed. We're still dealing with fractions, mixed numbers, improper fractions, the decimal point, decimal fraction, tenth, and hundredths. So if you need to, go ahead and pause the video so you can review the vocabulary words and the definitions. And if not, come along with me. Okay, you guys, now we're looking at our place value chart. We started off where we learned about thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones, and now we're adding in the tens, hundreds, and I put in the thousands. So you know, usually we go 3 over, but I think that's a 5th grade standard. But right now we're dealing with tenths and hundredths. Let's go look at some examples. It says, here's our example, shade the area models below to represent the pairs of decimal numbers. Fill in the blank with the less than, greater than, or equal to sign to compare the decimal numbers. So we have 0.23, and I know that right next to the decimal right here, this 2 is tenths. So I know this is 100 boxes, so I need a tenth. So I need 1 full row. So I'm going to highlight 2 rows. And then 3, because it said 23. So I need 23 out of 100 boxes shaded. So I have 23. Now I get to look at 4 tenths. Now remember, if I need to, I can always add a 0 so I can see what 4 tenths looks like in hundredths. So in hundredths, when I add the 0, it looks like I have to color in, shade in 40. Remember, do that. You go through 3 dots and you look for the paint box. So now I have to figure out which one is bigger. Is 23 bigger or is 40 bigger? I think 40 is bigger. So I'm going to put the greater sign going that way because 40, there's more boxes shaded than 23. Let's go to another example. It says locate and label the points for each of the decimal numbers on the number line. Fill in the blank with less than, greater than, or equal to compare the decimals. So here's my first. It says 10.3, and I'm seeing 10.3 over here. So I'm just going to move my dot over. And this says 10.03. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to put it right here on the third one because I know it's before 10.1. And it looks like these are hundredths because if I stretch it out from 10 to 11, we'd have 100 little dashes in between. So we'd want 10.03, 1, 2, 3. Now, which one's greater? Yes, great job. 10.3 is greater. And again, I can look at it on the number line, or I could add a 0 and make both of them hundredths. Is 3 hundredths bigger than 30 hundredths? No, 30 hundredths is bigger. So right here we have 6 and 2 tenths and 6 ones and 2 hundredths. So if you're not too sure, I'm going to make this a little smaller. 6 and 2 hundredths. So I'm going to go ahead and write it in a decimal form. 6 and 2 hundredths. So hundredths is in the second spot after the decimal. So which one's bigger? And because of that, I need to make sure that the first one, 6 and 2 tenths, is in hundredths. So I'm going to add a 0. So we have 6 and 20 hundredths versus 6 and 2 hundredths. So I'm going to go ahead and show that the 6 and 2 tenths is greater than 6 and 2 hundredths. Now I have 8.8 and 39 hundredths and 8 and 39 over 100. So we need to make one of these either fraction or 1 into a decimal. You need to do what you think's best. I tend to turn things into decimals. So I'm going to do the 8, and because it's a fraction, I know that's behind the decimal, and I just write the 39. And it looks like, look, you guys, they're equal. So as you're doing this, take your time. Remember to just Look at those numbers. If you need to, make sure they have the same ending, hundredths or tenths. So if you have tenths and you have another number as hundredths, add a 0 to the tenths, you get hundredths. Again, remember to have fun and remember to smile, giggle, and wiggle. I'll talk to you later. Bye.